the FOX29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia.
It's OJ in his own words for the first time, airing tonight right here on Fox. OJ Simpson, the lost confession, will be the first time we hear OJ's disturbing hypothetical situation of what could have happened the night of June 12th, 1994, the night his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman were murdered.
It was very difficult for me because it's hypothetical. I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel. You know, they're going to, you know, whatever they want to feel. In the book, the hypothetical is
Charlie.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. This guy Charlie shows up, the guy who I had recently become friends with, and I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going over there's got to stop.
And that's where we'll stop it. Attorney Joseph Marrone joins us now. So let's be clear for everyone at home who may not know this. That was an interview with Judith Reagan, a book publisher. It was back in 2006, but we're just hearing it because it was shelved back then, and it's going to air tonight for the first time.
That's correct. It was shelved because of reasons. The victim's family at the time didn't want to put it out. There was issues in the public, so it basically went on the shelf. But there was a book that came from this, and ultimately Ron Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, got through his judgment that he got against OJ. He seized the book and he published it himself, which we all know it's, you know, If I Did It, The Murderer. And that book's been out, but this confession's old. And it's interesting and it's fascinating that this enduring fascination that the public has with OJ, how we sit almost 25 years later and we're still like glued to our TV about what's going on, what OJ has to say. The interesting thing here is, you know, he comes close to a confession, he talks in the hypothetical, and he all but admits and practically does admit that he was involved in the murders, which is obviously raises the speculation, you know, can he be charged again?
That's everyone's big question after the interview tonight. What will happen to OJ, and your answer from a legal standpoint?
Listen, absolutely not. Everybody knows that we have a Fifth Amendment right, double jeopardy, which means you can't be put in jeopardy twice. If you're tried for a crime and you're found not guilty, the state cannot bring the charge again, whether it's California or any other state. Even the federal system can't do it. There are other avenues, but it's highly unlikely. Well, you know, can they bring a civil rights case? And there's no civil rights case here. So OJ is free and clear once again, and he'll have his TV show. Even though he's not a big proponent tonight of the show, it's actually the victims' families are the ones that want to see this show out there because they want to let the public know to further, you know, sensitize the public to his guilt.
So they have continued over the years to say, we want people to know OJ, they say.
Yeah, before back, it's funny, in 06, the victim's family did not want this to come out. Correct. But times have changed, and they think by putting this out, it further tells the public, look, listen to this madman, listen to this killer, he did it, you know, and they reached out to OJ, and OJ had no comment. So it'll be interesting. Definitely great ratings for Fox, and we love it, you know. But there's OJ's in no danger. Let's put it that way.
Can I ask you a question? I know this is kind of different, but you can help kind of clear the air. I covered the Cosby hearing last week for 2 days, the pretrial hearing. That's right. And a lot of people were asking me on Twitter, he's already had a trial. Why is he back in court? He can't be convicted again. It's a very different situation, though. Can you kind of explain that? Yeah,
that's completely different. OJ went to trial. I mean, Cosby went to trial. Yes. And he had. The jury deliberated, and they couldn't come to a decision. They were basically hung. Hung jury is a part of what's called a mistrial. That's when the jurors come together, they deliberate, and they cannot make a unanimous decision. They go back and forth, and if the judge thinks that it's pretty much an impasse, he declares a mistrial. Right. And now the state has an opportunity, based on the fact that it's basically the trial was rendered void.
Gotcha. So it's very different than the OJ situation, because a lot of people were talking to me on Twitter saying, why is he being tried again?
Because there was never a decision made. In OJ's case, he was found not guilty. Right. End of story. In Cosby's case, the jury could not come up with a unanimous decision, therefore they were rendered hung. Now the state has an opportunity. They don't have to retry him, or they can. And obviously in this case, they're coming at him pretty hard. I mean,
what do you think this time around? We're now in the Me Too era. That wasn't out back then. It's bad for him.
Yeah, I think if you noticed, the prosecution is really pushing for the additional victims to be able to testify in this case. Last time they only had one. Right. Now they're pushing up to 19. So between that and maybe the enduring press that we've seen throughout this case and the Me Too era, I think he has little or no chance of surviving.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting.
I know. You were with us for it last summer, so we'll have you back.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
I know. Joe, thank you so much.